Anytime. Oh, there we go.
Hush, Macho. Hush, that mouth. Because we are live. Woo!
Oh, yeah. All right.
Mutt-Man and Macho Dan are live. What's going on, Macho? I know we've got some things going on. Why don't you kick us off with what's up?
We have some things going on. Number one, for the one person watching, it's probably me, but thank you for being here.
Thank you, man.
Hopefully we're going to pick up some more viewers in a second, but I'm going to continue this because you might be watching this in the future. So a couple cool things. The show's going to kind of change a little bit. We kind of always shoot from the hip, but we're going to try to make this a little bit more formatted so that we can get more people in here, more guests, more comics news, more indie goodness. So we're going to call this show, until we think of a better name, Comics and Whatever with Mutt and Macho. What do you think, Mutt?
I like it. Did you not like the Hero Power Hour, or is that a different show?
No, Hero Power Hour is great. I just thought, well, it can be whatever.
We'll talk about that.
You know, talk about this off air. Okay.
I like what you got going, though. I think it's pretty cool.
Comics and Whatever. It's whatever.
It's whatever, man. Whatever.
So yeah, that's the new format. And one of the things that I want to start with the new format is what are we up to? So you and I, what we're up to as far as the book and whatever else you want to share. So I think that to kick this one off, you should go ahead because you got the bulk of the work. What are you up to right now?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm working on pages for Hero Blood of Patriots, and it's going. We hit some snags this week just with my schedule. Things went a little haywire at the workplace, but we're all smoothed out now, so I'm back on track. And, you know, these things are going to happen, so that's why you put your delivery date a little bit further out so that you have some space for these kinds of things. And I'm back in action. I got my setup all I had a little bit computer gaff, and now I've got my setup kind of back up and running. And, yeah, we're making pages.
We're on Windows 98?
We're back on Windows 98, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Now we got the big news this week is that we've been talking to our colorist, and of course, as everyone knows, we passed the colorist stretch goal.
That's right.
And so we do have the one and only, the realist of the real Vegas Day to get our colors done, and he is ready to go. And so I've got the color files ready to send to him, or the ink pages ready to send to him. He's going to have those colored and back to us, so we'll have some colored pages of Hero Blood of Patriots to show super soon. I'm so excited about that, buddy.
So that's going to be so killer. I'm really, really excited about that.
Nothing makes a creative team like us happier than when we see those colored pages come back. You know? And that's a big investment too.
It is a special moment when you open that file and bam, it's right there for you to look at and all of its high-res glory.
Yes,
so
sir.
That's super exciting. And we're going to continue to do some Hero Power Hour. Mutt's going to be inking stuff that you guys can see. Not everything, because we want to keep some stuff a secret, but if you want to see the process, it's going to happen. A cool thing I just sent out to everybody but two of you, and there's two people that are very special. I got to send their emails out. But to every original backer for Hero Blood of Patriots, I sent all of them out an email just asking for you guys to send me back your address, because I made a mistake when I set up the campaign. It doesn't happen very often, right, Mutt? But I did make a mistake this time. And and what I did was I forgot to include. So there's a button you can click, and I said that it didn't require shipping because that was something we wanted to give as free shipping. Well, that negated the place for you to put your shipping. So if you're an original backer, check your spam folder, check your email. I think I've gotten responses from most of them, but I'm still looking for a couple so that I can make sure we get Hero Blood of Patriots into your hands. And I'll bug all of you until you do give me those email addresses. But there's two very special people. Sean, you're one of them. You're going to get an email very soon. I was typing yours special last night, and my computer died on me. So that's what I've been up to alongside Mutt here, just looking at all the stuff we got to get done. to get this book out, and we're really pumped about it. So, yeah. Now, you got anything else you want to?
No, man, go for it. You're good.
Your update? Well, the coolest thing about our new format, we're just going to want to get through all this housekeeping and the hero update. But one of the things I'm most excited about is the Macho Mystery Guest. Okay, and so every week or every show, there's actually going to be a show tomorrow night, right? You're still good for tomorrow night?
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna have a show tomorrow night too, with another Macho Mystery Guest. And but tonight, this is our first ever. We're really excited about this. He's one of the funniest people I've met on Twitter. We call him the Meme King. He throws out the dankest memes on the net, indie comics memes. And he's just a funny and super cool, nice individual. So I was pleased to meet him tonight, and I'm excited for everybody else to meet him. And that is the one and only, get ready to unmute yourself, Cody with Wisdom Comes. Cody, are you there?
What up?
There he is.
Oh, yeah, brother. Yeah, the cream rises.
That's right.
Nice.
Awesome. Man, thanks for coming on. And we've been talking about having you for a while. And it's exciting to get you on the show and ask you some questions. So we got a bunch. We have some people in the chat now. Septinov, our boy, 7 of 9, says, hey, Cody, we got Tank Ferret. Is in the chat. Yeah, Tank is in the chat. Manny from Good Dog Press, and R2D2 for life, which is Sean. So we got a bunch of wrenches in there. A lot of wrenches in the chat.
Hey, real quick, shout out to the Unbreathable Skunk Girl project, which is going to be a big success.
Yes.
I think they already got funded, and they're pushing on stretch goals probably. So congratulations, guys, and rock and roll.
Yeah, I think they got funded in like an hour or something crazy like that. I mean, like for real.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
fast.
Yeah, pumped for those guys for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're not here to talk about Skunk Girl. We'll talk about her another night. We're here to talk about Cody and his book, Wisdom Comes. Correct? Wisdom Comes?
You got it.
All right, sweet. So I have a couple questions for you. And I'm sure Mutt will have some questions. And you're going to get, as you do all these, because you're got to do the circuit and you got to hit everybody. So you're going to have the same questions asked of you pretty much every time. But we wanted to get out early and ask you some fun questions to start with. So number one, what is it about? Give me the elevator pitch and get us excited.
All righty. Wisdom Comes is the life story of Derikos Galvin. He's a troubled young idealist from the planet Hera, and he devotes his life to saving his people from annihilation by dragons.
Ooh.
So,
dude, good. All right, good elevator pitch.
Good.
Straight up.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued immediately.
And working on it.
I'm glad you mentioned. Dragons. I have questions about dragons.
Okay.
All right. So, give me the main character's name again.
Derikos Galvin.
Derikos Galvin.
Like galvanized steel.
You came into the chat the other night as Derikos Galvin.
Yeah,
right?
that's my other main YouTube account. Everybody, I love it when people read my chats. They're like, Derikos Galvin. I can't pronounce it.
You were saying like galvanized metal. Is that something you came up with based on that, or is it just sounded cool?
Yeah, back in, I think it was like maybe around 2012 when I was really starting to flesh out the character. And it's not just making it just sort of a dream. I was actually like planning on actually developing it into a book. I was like, he needs a badass, strong, like heavy last name, something that just evokes that imagery of just, the strength of will. So I thought Galvin was a pretty neat short name,
Yeah,
It sounds kind of mysterious, and like it could be alien. So
yeah, absolutely. So that's interesting. You said 2012. So you've been working on this for a long time.
Yeah, this started in 2007. I think it was you guys. I was watching a video. I think you guys did Will's show at Heroic Studios, and you were saying that Hero started as a dream.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how Wisdom Comes started. I've had insomnia since I was 8, and wow. Yeah, dude, I blame Toonami. But yeah, I used to just try and dream up and like all these crazy fantastical scenarios and scenes, so that would help me kickstart dreamland and start actually going to sleep.
Yeah.
And one that I just kept coming back to is just some dude, some badass dude with a cape and a sword like Conan, just killing dragons. And I was like, this is a cool little fantasy thing I can play with and hopefully
That's cool,
drift
man.
off into snooze land. Yeah. And so it
Right.
just took off from there.
That's cool. I think that's a really cool story of like how you got it, is because is going from something like insomnia and you're trying to coax yourself to sleep. I think that's really neat that's
Yeah.
how it came about. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely got a lot of influence from that.
Yeah. So is like big epic fantasy, is that kind of one of your favorite genres? Is it just something that you got into because you were creating this world and you've just been working on it?
No, I've always loved fantasy. Always played Elder Scrolls games, read Lord of the Rings very young. So I was always tuned into that, the big epic quest, you know, the big deal, the big long journey, the theme of the quest kind of thing. So yeah, it was definitely tuned for that. So I started imagining this thing and I started writing things down and little scenes and snippets for this character over the years. And I was like, dude, this could be like a movie or a story.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, might as well.
So for, I guess, is comics something that just naturally happened for you to like, it just felt like that's where the story fit best? Or was it something like it started as a short story and morphed into comics? I always find it interesting how people come to this format.
Yeah. I believe sort of Mutt-Man's philosophy, where he was talking about where comics is like one of the greatest or the greatest storytelling medium out there. And I really believe that. And I've told other people this. I'll never claim to be a huge comics like nerd because I've never gotten into collecting. And you could ask me to name a certain character from a certain book, I can't do it. I just because that's just how I am. I'm not big on that. But comics have always been around in my life, and I've always been sort of selective as to which ones I get. So,
man, I like that a lot, and the reason I like that is because people see comics as this big, like this area that you gotta be this kind of nerd with all this weird knowledge in. I feel like that's the stigma, I guess, and to a degree, they're right. Like most comics nerds or comics creators or comics nerds, but I think it's cool that it's just something that like speaks to you as a creative like outlet. I'm big on people being able to be able to get that urge to create and put it out there. And for some people it might be painting, and then some people it might be sculpting or whatever or like building something out of Legos or whatnot. But comics works for some, and it's cool that that's something that you came to that way. I think it's pretty neat.
Yeah, definitely. I think I made the right choice with trying to pursue bringing this dream to life in that format, because there's not too many other formats that are available to someone like me, where like, well, I'm not going to go make this into like a Hollywood blockbuster movie or
not yet
an animation. Yeah. Right. But you know, you can't go into that off the bat unless you've got money or you come from money. But I also toyed with the idea of just doing novels, and I was like, no, because I really want, this is such a visual story. There's so much that's visually striking that I want to see represented. Even if nobody else wants to see it, I want to see this story brought to life on paper. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's why I chose comics. And I just the comics have always been around in my life. My dad growing up, he always had like 4 or 5 shelves on the bookshelf just dedicated to like Spider-Man and Batman. Those were his 2 favorites.
Yeah. Nice.
So I was always just picking those off and reading them and going through them. And so, yeah.
Very cool. I see. In the chat, I was gonna say we have to give our boy Trey Daniels a shout out. So Trey, this is a good story. Before we were anybody, we're still nobody, especially Mutt. He's definitely nobody. But before like we had any followers, before we had anybody interested in our comic or anything, Trey, we always called him #1Man fan. is because he was literally the only person that would watch us do a YouTube video. Like it would be us, and we would just talk to Trey, and he'd respond. He would hold conversations with us. It was fantastic. He's been with us from the beginning, so I got to give shout out to Trey.
Yeah, he has a place of honor. He has a place of honor. Every time he shows up, we always shout him out.
Yeah, special place of honor for us. So, but getting back to Wisdom Comes. So I have a couple of very serious questions. Number one, and you kind of answered this already, but what is it about fantasy that that you like? I know you said like it's big epic stories, and you like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. Is there something else besides that and all the beautiful elf girls that really gets you into fantasy?
Yeah, I would say it's the escapism, 100%.
Okay.
It's you could ask my wife. She hates watching movies and TV shows with me just because I relentlessly I relentlessly criticize. I can't help it.
Yeah.
Even if it's like 100% pure fantasy stuff, I'm always like, that wouldn't happen. That's not real. Like, you know what I mean? Like the reason I like fantasy is because you can literally do anything with it and not be wrong.
Sure.
So I take that philosophy in writing Wisdom Comes, and I took that philosophy in the world building process, which spanned over 10 years. In that, this is one thing that I always say when people ask me about it and the world and why fantasy and not this or that or whatever, is that I really want this story, no matter how fantastical it is, I want it to be believable.
Sure.
Because I want that sense of realism. I want you to be enveloped and enthralled and reading this and being like, wow, this is crazy. Because that's how I felt reading, the Amory Wars or something. That book is insanely complex and fantastical. Nothing in that book could be real, but you feel like it is because of how it's told. So,
gotcha. Do you have for your books and for the fantasy that really gets you excited? Do you have anybody as a writer? I get inspired by a lot of people, including other writers and artists too. Like artists' art can inspire me in my writing. Do you have people like that inspire you and that have inspired you to write Wisdom Comes?
Yeah, the main inspiration I would say for actually writing Wisdom Comes, well, the story and the title itself actually came from a Greek poet, Aeschylus. I forget why I was reading up on Greek tragedy stuff, but I had glanced upon some of his things, and he has this poem where he says, and even in our sleep, wisdom comes to us by the awful grace of God, something like that to that effect. And so like when you read that poem, it really stuck with me, and I was like, this is a really cool condensed this I was imagining that poem as being the last message of my story.
Okay,
so I
cool.
kind of like deconstructed it from there, and then that led me into a band called Gojira. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No.
They're a metal band. That led me to their music because they have a song titled Wisdom Comes.
Okay.
And where they actually the lyrics of the song are literally that poem by that Greek guy.
Okay.
And so I started getting into their music, and then they had this album called From Mars to Sirius, and I literally one day, this was like the story inception for this book, was I sat down and listened to every single track on that album and wrote out a scene in this story, like as it was playing out in my mind to this music. Well, my point is that music is more of an inspiration to me for writing, because
absolutely cool.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously there's writers out there that I love, and books and things like Berserk. I really like how Kentaro Miura's like story flow was really good in the first few volumes.
Yeah.
Even though he jumped around all over the place, but he was just it's a very cinematic manga.
Yeah, you can find inspiration everywhere. So I think it's really neat that you found it in music. So I just was, while you were talking, I looked up Gojira Wisdom Comes, and I'm looking forward to listening to that. And I say I won't make everybody watch me listen to that right now, but I'm going to listen to it in a few minutes.
If you like metal.
I like a lot of different things, and I can pick a good metal song every now and then. So I do have a question. Trey asked a question in the chat. He said, what do you guys think about how comics should be written? Should it be about writing a contained story or more focused on building the world? So if you want to answer that first, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I think that depends on the story and what you're trying to tell, honestly. Like I said, I've been building this world for so long, and that's only because this project means a lot to me, and I really want to see it prosper and grow, and I really, really want to see this project come to life. I have another project out there that I'm working on, and I've done maybe 5% of world building on it, and that's because the world building for that is really easy. I don't need to sculpt, I don't need to handcraft an entirely new planet. I don't need to make a bunch of new languages. I don't need to make a bunch of new flora and fauna. I don't need to explain a lot, because the story is sort of like, you just, when you understand what the story's about, you assume that all this stuff is already made up for you. So I think that really depends. And then once you figure out which is more important, either world building or the writing process, then I think it's easier for you to decide. But for Wisdom Comes, the world building's done. I could describe to you, if you had literally any question about Hera, the planet where the majority of this story takes place, I could answer it on the spot.
That's
Don't have to look anything up. It's all there. So that all that heavy lifting, all that heavy lifting is done.
That's cool.
So now, that gives me time to focus on the writing.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It definitely, like, some books are going to be better as like serialized little, little self-contained stories. Like, they're just going to be better. Like that way, you pick up some books like an Avengers book. A lot of times, it's good to, like, that world's already built. You can just get a self-contained story. But when it's a new book, especially an indie book, I think it's important to set the tone and build a world. And create that. You do have to do some world building quickly so the person understands the laws and everything. But then once it's done, I think you can kind of go both ways on that. But yeah, I mean, you can do little self-contained stories, but I think building the world and building the lore around the world are really important. And one of our friends of the channel here, Doug Garrett, did a really good job of that, I think, on his book, Lone Wolf, where he sets this world up, he sets it up fast, and it's there. And then he just released this anthology. Well, not released. He just finished funding this anthology, and it's cool because there are all these little self-contained stories about the world he's already made. So, yeah, I guess that's my thoughts on that. Yeah. And then Sean says, "Is global warming on the planet Hera man-made or just a natural, natural climate change?" That's a great question.
Global warming on Hera?
Yeah,
there is no global warming.
Oh man!
Yeah.
All right. There you go. Heard it from the man
Sean.
himself. That's canon now.
You tried to stump me, Sean. You tried to stump me.
Cool. So moving on, I know that this book has a lot to do with dragons.
Yeah.
So tell me what is up with the dragons, or it's specifically the dragon that you've teased out.
Black Maw.
Black Maw, yeah.
So the dragons of Hera, like I stated before, I want this epic fantasy story to be as real as possible. I want as much realism forcefully injected into this thing. No, it's all natural, but I want it to be believable. I want it to be. I don't want, as much as I love Skyrim and The Hobbit, I don't want my dragons to talk. I don't want them to express emotions and give away their evil plans and stuff like that. This is a species of massive winged reptiles whose saliva can spontaneously combust when exposed to air, that are killing people, and literally nobody's doing anything about it. So these dragons on this planet, they've existed there since the inception of life on this planet, and they just evolved over millennia, just like the humanoids and the plants and animals did. And they've been there just refining their primal reptilian minds. And obviously, when you have a predatory, aggressive species like that, they're going to form a pack mentality. And so you have an alpha male, and that's Black Maw. So Black Maw appears to give orders and control all lesser dragons, but it's all just primal animal dominance, hypnotism, animal magnetism sort of thing. So he tells the dragons what to do in his way. He's not literally speaking to them saying, hey, go kill these people, but he's like, that's a threat, let's neutralize that threat. And so that's the limit of their intelligence, I guess you would say. But these are big monsters that are real. They just look like dragons. If
Nice.
You saw one, you'd say that's a dragon. But the herons, they've been around forever.
Huh. Cool.
Yeah.
I like it. So now for a more specific question about the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
If you could be a dragon, what would your name be?
If I could be a dragon, dude,
it's hard to beat Black Maw. That is a really burly name.
That's a really great name.
What?
Black Maw.
Black Maw? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great name.
Well, in the local tongue, it's Chronocosto, but that translates to black, big mouth.
Yeah.
His jaw is like blackish, like charred looking. But if I had a dragon name.
So you got to give me your dragon name, and then you got to give me your dragon name in your local in the local tongue of Harrow.
I can't do that. Unless it's words I can remember off the top of my head, but all those words are like basic words, like blue and pants and.
So you've created somewhat of a language for this too.
Yes,
not the full language, but some of it.
Yeah, it's ever growing because I just find time to add words to the lexicon, which is a
awesome.
big Excel sheet.
Super cool.
Whenever I'm like translating stuff, I'll just add things to this huge sheet so it's searchable. But yeah, no, I've definitely, the alphabet's there, the grammar's there, everything like that. It's just now
that's amazing.
It's just filling out a dictionary, It's like, how do I translate this now?
Yeah.
Okay, let me figure out. Okay, can't name it that because this is all similar to that, and it doesn't mean the same. But yeah, my dragon name would be Skogor.
Skogor, yes.
That sounds badass.
So, all right, Sean, you got it. Hashtag Skogor. Sean's good on the hashtags. He's gonna. You need to hashtag that anytime, Cody. Anytime you need to bump Cody's book or anything, hashtag Skogor. You heard it here first. Everybody's gonna be like, "What is this?" Or it's gonna be like it's gonna tag some weird like Japanese like squid manga thing or something, or like some sort of weird like Chinese food or something. I don't know. Hashtag Skogor spelling. It looks good. Skogore. Looks legit. Sean, let's go with that.
Great.
And let's see. Trey says that Parthenax is a great dragon. I'd want to be him. Parthenax.
Yeah, Parthenax is cool.
What's Parthenax from?
Skyrim.
Oh, Skyrim. Gotcha. Yes. I knew it sounded familiar, but I cannot. I played Skyrim. I didn't play a ton of Skyrim. I liked just running around and being like all powerful and killing stuff. And when I get bored of doing that, I stopped playing. And then Tank says the scariest dragon I ever met was Wizleets the Fearsome. No one laughed. Wizleteats? I don't know. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry, Tank. I really murdered that.
That would have been way funny if Tank said it, but you said it.
Yeah, but I said it. I know. We know I never make mistakes. So, shoot. Now I was going to ask a question, and that totally.
I got a question. I got a question.
Yeah.
So Cody, are you an artist at all? I mean, what are you doing as far as the art goes?
Not for this book. I've been drawing and painting all my life, but I could not for the life of me draw what you're drawing right now. It would look like somebody took a potato and hit it with a hammer. But yeah, I've been doing stuff, but then I tried to get this book off the ground under my own pen like 7 years ago, and it was a disgrace. I scrapped every single bit of it. But as for Wisdom Comes, I'm writing, I'm flatting, and I'm lettering. And I also do layouts and thumbnails for certain pages and panels that I want, a certain direction for.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much it. And then full-time 100% promotional marketing manager. Not getting paid.
Nice. So Tank has corrected me. Whizzle teats.
Whizzle teats.
There we go. Yeah. So who is your artist?
My artist is his name is Gabriel Pezzin. He's in Italy. He has an online moniker, Flagor. I can shoot you his email address or something like that whenever. You take a look. He doesn't do Twitter. He's an Instagram king. He's got like 10.7K followers.
Oh yeah, let's get his Instagram. Yeah. Let's get his Instagram so we can follow him.
You want to look it up?
Yeah, absolutely.
FLYGOHR.
Flagor. Nice. I was thinking about my favorite dragon. You should think of your favorite dragon. So my favorite dragon, though, is the luck dragon from the Neverending Story, Falkor. That's my favorite dragon.
Dude, yeah. Falkor's up there, man.
Yeah. I like that he looks like a big, long, hairy dog, and he can talk. It's so awesome.
I had so many nightmares about Falkor.
Yeah, right.
I saw that movie when I was young because he just had that like a giant puppet that was just came to life. Yeah, dude, I had some nightmares about.
He's slightly terrifying. Like he's kind but slightly terrifying.
Oh, he's a sweetheart. Yeah, there's like a creepy moment where doesn't he like stick his tongue out and like?
Oh, I'm sure. No, that's the dog. That's the or the wolf at the end. I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah, the nothing.
Yeah,
void beast.
He's the herald of the nothing.
The herald of the nothing. That's right.
God, I gotta rewatch that.
What a great movie!
I won't make it through the Artax scene. Artax.
Oh yeah.
Very sad. Very sad. And I put a tweet out not too long ago talking about that, about how that probably shaped or damaged a lot of our childhoods. That single movie.
Yeah, dude.
So sorry, I'm typing something.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it much. We don't expect professional.
You guys, I was going to tell you, I was thinking about this. It would be pretty funny. I don't want to derail, but because I was listening to this radio show that I listened to called The Bonfire, and it's by these two comedians, and one of them does like hands down the world's greatest Macho Man Randy Savage impression.
Okay.
And then I was listening to that earlier today, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going on with Macho and Mutt later. And then they were actually talking on the episode I was listening to. They were talking about like they were doing like fake radio voices, and I started thinking that your guys' names are perfect for like one of those morning radio show duos,
right?
Like, hey, welcome back to KHRO with Macho and the Mutt-Man. Spinning the hits on 101.7. You know, like.
Oh, you figured us out. That's exactly what we've been going for the entire time.
That's awesome. You guys need to market that way.
I know. God, that's genius. We need to market that way.
We could easily do a pod. We could just take the audio files of these things and just make a podcast out of it.
Yeah, I know. So Sean says in the chat, spoilers: Professor X dies in Hero #1. Yeah.
Too late to respawn.
That is right there. It's when Professor X had hair. This is an alternate universe.
What's that?
Cool. Well, I was saying this is when Professor X dies in an alternate universe where he has hair.
Oh.
If you look at his that there.
Got a nice big full thick head of hair.
Yeah, look at that. All right, so we are we're trying to keep these to about an hour. So we got about 25 minutes left. And what I was thinking, well, first of all, I want you to, is there anything else you want to tell us about Wisdom Comes, or Mutt, do you have any other questions about Wisdom Comes before we get moving?
Oh, I
want to know a lot more about this.
I got lots of questions.
Okay, well, hit him with the questions. I'm doing all the heavy lifting, Boomer.
Well, all right. You've been talking the whole time. Okay, here's my question. What is up with the? It looks like there's a guy on the promo, and he's like naked, and he's got like a big orb of some kind.
Yeah, he's naked.
It's bloody, like that. Yeah. It's a really intriguing image, but it's a little disturbing. It makes me wonder what in the world's going on there.
I
So
did.
can you tell us what's up with that, or who that character is, or
Yeah,
give us a little clue in?
it's kind of hard to tell who it is because it was just it's a concept piece that I've had for a while for the book, and it sort of just represents that is the main character, and it's sort of like a symbolic dream sequence image that represents his struggle.
Okay.
And the triumph of his will, and what he's going through, and his trauma and all that. And then so the orb that he's holding is covered in blood that's supposed to represent, I mean, again, this is all artistic and subjective or whatever. It's whatever you want. It's one of those kind of things. But that, to me, that represents his planet and how he feels about it. You know, it's covered in blood. He's cradling it. He cares about it. And then the orb that's in front of his head, that to me, that represents his, you know, his desire, his passion, his devotion to his planet and his people. And it's burning because that's how he feels. It's an ardent passion of his to literally devote his life to solving his people's problems. So it's a concept thing that you would get probably. You'd probably like look at that and like, oh, that's cool. Naked dude holding a bloody melon, whatever. And then you get through chapter 1 and maybe you come back to that and you're like, oh, okay, maybe that's him, you know. But yeah, I'm thinking of keeping that as an interior cover. I don't really want a half naked dude bloody and on fire on the cover of my book.
Well, I mean, that's your choice to make. I would say that's a very intriguing image. Like the image definitely makes you want to know more about it.
I kind of intended it to be provoking. I kind of took inspiration from some art piece I saw on the internet a few years back. I was like, that looks pretty neat. I think that's kind of what I'm looking for some concept work for this book. So I had my artist do that piece early on, and yeah, but I don't think that'll be the final exterior of chapter 1. Working on something now with my artist with that.
So my other question is this going to be kind of a larger scope series? It seems like you're going for a very big story.
Yeah, the story's pretty massive. I've done some rough calculations because obviously not all of it is written, and it's going to be somewhere in the ballpark of about 300 pages.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. So
right on.
yeah, so I had to really slice it up and digest it for consumption a couple years back because I was like, I can't do this as a one shot. This is just like a behemoth.
Right.
So, but yeah, so I think chapter 1 is a great starting point. You get some fantasy action, you get some backstory and some insight into the character and what drives him forward and what set him on his path. So I think 60 pages is a good little good chunk to sink your teeth into and get ready for the next installment of Wisdom Comes.
Yeah, I think 60 pages is good.
Yeah.
Like ours is 48 right now, unless we hit some major struggles and grow a little bit. But it's I guess you got to play that balance of how much the book's going to cost to print and ship, like how big this thing's going to be, and how much story you can pack into it. You'll find, I mean, you already know, but like creating a comic book is difficult because you have this huge story that you want to tell and tell it visually and tell it right. But at least for me as a writer, and I don't want to speak for you because you may be able to do this well, but it's hard for me. I can write all this stuff down, and I usually give Mutt way more than he can put into the book. And his job, at least the way we've worked together and we work together well this way, is he tones me down and puts the things that are important to the things we need to tell the story in the right way. So we've been able to work together really well that way. But it's hard, man. It's hard to fit everything in your brain, like all the stuff you've came out with, and all the little details are important. I think, like, at least for me as a writer, all the little details are important. Like, I want this little thing to be in there because it's important to the story. But it's hard to fit it in sometimes, and he has to, like, Mutt will just be like, nope, it's cut. Sorry, Macho, it's cut.
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, it's good that you guys have a good flow, man. Like, I think that's very important. Like, my artist and we connect on so many different things, even though he's in Italy and I've never seen his face. We just talk on Discord, but we connect on so many cool things, and it's just awesome. It's like, cool, man. I get this guy. There's so, dude, and he would tell you the same thing. I'm like a wellspring of information on this story, in this book. Like I said, you could ask me literally anything about it, and I could probably tell you. But Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I really gotta like cut down how much I want to put into this thing.
Yeah, Macho's like I call him I call him Macho Dan, the Idea Man,
Yeah, that's a good one.
because he's got like a million and five ideas at all times, which is why he won that writers contest that he was on. Because
I saw that.
people didn't know like what they were getting into with Macho.
Yeah.
He can out idea anybody, you know, like on a dime.
Yeah.
But his ideas are all pretty stupid. Like you really have to like say, dude, that's just not gonna work. But
True,
some of them,
true.
like one in a 1,000 is the greatest idea I've ever heard. So like he goes by the numbers and he plays the numbers.
That's right. I like to. I have to go with quantity, and every once in a while, there's a nugget of gold that I'm able to push out. But we have a little. I always say I have my little black book, and I literally have a black, like one of those little like moleskin notebooks, and I've like written ideas and crossed out ideas that I thought were good once, and we have a bunch of stories to tell, which is exciting. So there's no shortage of. Yeah, exactly.
I have about 10 of these things, and they're all wisdom comes. It's insane.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's so many stories to tell, and that's one thing. Like shifting gears a little bit, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. But that's something that I think is so cool about the whole indie scene right now. I somehow turned my camera off? But it's something I think is so cool about the indie scene is that there's so many great properties coming out that people have thought up and are getting excited and just doing it and putting them out. Like, I guess, what do you think about the health of the indie scene? Is it something you see only like growing, or is it just a flash in the pan thing right now? What do you think?
15 minutes of fame. It's a fad. It'll be done in 3 months.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. Hell no, dude. All right, man.
You're just trying to you're trying to get in now, right?
Yeah, right. Trying to get in there and make my quick buck. No, I'm here to stay for the indie scene, man. There's so many cool creators out there, dude. Like, just people like you wouldn't even imagine that these people would talk to you if you didn't like have anything to do with comics, if you weren't writing or you weren't doing anything. I see you guys responding to fans all the time. You're always there. You're always like coherent. You're always caring. You know what I mean? You actually care about your fans and your readers, and that is so lacking in mainstream comics that I can see. And it's sad, but it's also inspiring. You know, it gives me great hope for the future of the indie comic scene. You've got creators out there pulling in $40K, 60, 75, 200 something plus $1,000 for a comic book. For a crowdfunded comic book. And they reply to you on Twitter. They talk to you. They listen to you, whether it's what you want to hear or not. They respond to you, and that's a very important thing. And I think that's tantamount to indie comic success. Yeah,
I agree with you 100%. And like one of the things that I've always thought is that like when we got into this, I've said it before, we're nobody, but we're nobodies that really want our fans and our friends within the whole indie scope to know that we care about them. And it's something that comes from the top down, though. So from pros like Doug TenNapel, if I go tweet Doug TenNapel right now and ask him a question, he'll like 90%, 95%, he'll respond. If it's stupid, he's going to ignore it. But most of the time, he's going to respond to you, and he'll genuinely like care what you're saying. And that guy has thousands and thousands of followers. And that's why he's so successful. Earthworm Jim got to $400,000 today. $400,000, and it is Doug TenNapel, so he commands a huge audience. But still, I can talk to that guy if I want to. And,
exactly.
You know, like Malin. Malin will invite you on the channel. You can talk to him. He's an industry pro. And it gets harder as, you know, some of these other guys, but there's like, you know, Vaughn from Monster MD and Cal from Shinobi Sasquatch. We were talking to those guys before they launched their Indiegogos, and they're like they haven't let the success go to their head. If anything else, they're more focused on making sure that everybody's happy and that they are accessible. And I think that's what's so cool. You're able to talk to the people that are creating these things that you love. And that's something that's very important to us, that we always be that way, as accessible as possible to anyone that wants to talk to us. So we hope, I can't wait till the day I'm at a con and I can sit there and somebody can come up with my comic book and say they enjoyed it. And I can't wait to shake people's hands, and like that will genuinely make me so happy if somebody enjoys that book and I'm able to thank them for buying it. So, and you're going to get there too one day, man. I'm really excited about the stuff. Like, from the moment I started seeing some of the things you were teasing out, and you kind of started teasing it out early, because when do you think you're going to launch? Do you have an idea?
Yeah, I was thinking ballpark July 12th, but I think I might have to push that back a little bit just to finish some more promo stuff and maybe give myself another week or two of marketing. But
cool. Just soon, man.
Yeah.
Wow, awesome. Well, you can count on us for helping you get out there as much as possible, because I think this is a really cool project. I like the name. I like the symbolism of Wisdom Comes. I think that's a cool. I think it was a good choice for you for that title. And I like fantasy stuff, and so this is going to be an easy buy for me, and I think it'll be an easy buy for a lot of people. So have you started setting up your campaign page?
Yeah, it's like 90% fleshed out.
Okay, very cool.
Got some figures from my artist. Still want to hear back from the figures from Steve, my colorist, because I don't think I'll be able to add on his colors. I'm probably going to take your guys' model with that.
Yep.
So just waiting for that, and then fleshing out some more of the cool perks.
Sweet.
And do like I don't know if we were talking Skyrim. Skyrim released as like a special edition with like a fold out map of like Skyrim.
Yeah.
We're gonna do something like that with like Hera, like really nice,
Sweet.
like old school style. So
maps are cool. I love maps.
Yeah. Like, put it on your wall kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I have a small collection of maps, because so I like, part of my job is riding bikes, and part of that is having a map. And so I got really nerdy into like maps and all the, like, what the little symbols mean and everything. So I have a drawer, and I have a whole bunch of them. So I also love like maps like Westeros or something like that. Like, I love
that. Fantasy maps. Yeah.
And Sean said in the chat, he said a map of Hera is awesome. Love it. So I think you're right. That's a cool way to do things. Do you have any besides that? Do you have any like a perk that you want to like drop here right now? You don't have to, but if you have
I mean,
something you can tell us about that you're excited about.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about that perk, the one with the map. I've always been drawing maps, so that's actually part of my sign up. Anybody who signs up on the list is going to get access to that perk, so it's going to be like a secret one. You'll get like a sick fold out map. I think I'm going to do like a cool sticker. Don't know what I want to do on the sticker yet.
Yeah,
and then I'm thinking maybe like a T-shirt with the logo or something, or a dragon. I don't know. Yeah,
I love T-shirts too, and Mutt is wearing one of our favorite T-shirts. I have one of those too.
Yeah.
We actually share that T-shirt. He gets it on even days, and I get it on odd days. So it's an even day today. He has it. It's a Lone Wolf T-shirt.
Don't say that. Sean,
I said it for Sean.
Finally let it go, and you stoke the fires again.
Sean, did you get that? Did you get that, buddy?
Please don't say
what that. Did he miss out on one?
But yeah, that sounds awesome, man. I'm a sucker for a T-shirt. I love maps, so you're already hooking me in, and I'm already on the Wisdom Comes mailing list. So
me too.
That's
awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sean's been sharing out your link to the sign up. There's a few folks. Let's see. Got a few folks watching. So we were up there about 10 at one point. We're not too. We got a few watching right now, but hopefully we'll get some folks watching this afterwards. Now we'll shift gears a little bit because we got about 10 minutes left, and I wanted to do something at the end of every show or towards the end of every show, and talk about things that you're excited about or what you're looking forward to, and it could be anything. It could be, like said, like taking your dog to the dog park. It could be comic books. It could be movies or whatever. So, Mutt, Boomer in Chief, tell us, what are you looking forward to this week?
I've got a new comic book. Hold on just a second, and I'll show it to you. Momentito.
All right, Sean says, hashtag keep your shirt on.
Yeah. Let's see. Guys, come on, learn this stuff for crying out loud. There we go. I've got a new book, Death Like the Demolisher. Can you see that?
Yeah, it looks good.
I found this at Ollie's for like $7, and it's the complete collection. So look how thick that big guy is. This has got all of those cool old 70s Deathlock stories in it.
So good.
Look at that. And it's got some really cool art by, well, several artists, but look at this cover right here. Man. This is comic books right here.
That's so good.
If you want to know why I love comics, look at that cover. Right? All right, so anyway, but yeah, this is what I'm excited about now. I'm really going to read some Deathlock. That's going to really kind of engage the hero storytelling, visual storytelling in me because, of course, there's lots of similarities there. I'm also very excited about being a part of Team Monster. We're hashtag Team Monster now, baby.
That's awesome. Right. We were officially inducted into Team Monster, and we're so they inducted another member, and that is that's something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah,
is the book Oddity by Sweens and Indie Comics Dave. I'm excited for that for sure. But yeah, so right now it's Monster MD, Shinobi Sasquatch, Hero, and Oddity. We're Team Monster, so pretty pumped about that.
Yeah, that's badass.
Yep. What else you got, Mutt? Anything else?
That's it for me. Go ahead.
All right, cool. Cody, what about you? What are you excited about?
Tomorrow, I should be getting those 5 pages. If you guys are on that mailing list, I sent out that preview for those 5 pages with some writing and stuff. I should be getting those back colored. I don't know if you guys have heard, but my artist and colorist both had delays last weekend, so everything was pushed out like a week. But yeah, he should be getting me the 5 pages colored, and then I'm gonna compile those with the writing. And I also got 5 pages of roughs from my artist, so I'm gonna send out a full 10-page preview of Wisdom Comes to those on the list, half colored and half in the rough stage, but with lettering so you can read it and check out the story and get into it. I know people love those. I hate them personally because I was on Will's show earlier today, and he was talking about we were talking about you guys in your 16-page preview. I told him, I was like, I was reading it, and halfway through I had to stop because I'm the kind of person who hates spoilers. And if I see like a movie trailer for a movie I really want to see, I just have to like cut it off. So I was like, nope, I got to wait until the full thing comes because I want to get into it.
That preview, like you can read the whole thing, that won't really spoil anything for the book. That's like the first bit. You can read the whole thing, and the comic when it comes actually picks up right where that one leaves off.
Oh, okay. So, I thought that was
you're
like
safe.
Pages into the. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm gonna read that
safe.
as you turn this off, dude.
Yep, you're
right
safe.
Back to it. I know where I left off.
That's right. Get into it. You're 100% safe.
That's awesome. I should have asked.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So we did that on purpose. Like we number one wanted to see if we could make a comic, and we made that comic based on the beginning of the whole hero story. And so we were that was gonna be we were gonna go from there with the whole story, but we decided. Since we were done, it was almost a self-contained story. It was a good place to cut it and just give it away. And that's a great way. Like, I mean, you're doing it too. And that's a great way to get people excited about the product because they're able to read it and be like it's a self-contained story. At least that one was. And it's exciting. Like we tried to lay out a lot of the exposition that needed to be said and give you some action and give you some of the weird science in the book. And that way, when you get the book, you're like, okay, I know what to I know this is a weird world. It's messed up, and there's crazy things going on, and let's get into this action. So that was the whole plan there.
That's awesome. I did not know that, and now I will finish
finish it up, man. So what else you got? Is there anything else that you're excited about?
No, that's pretty much it, man.
All right, cool.
I mean, obviously, I'm very excited for updates from all my favorite campaigns. Hero, Shinobi, Team Monster, anybody in there in that group.
Very cool.
So
Well, I put together a number of books that I'm excited about that are coming out were on the IndieCron side. I just took a quick look at that, and so I figured I would talk about these guys real quick, and just because I think they're cool projects. And there's a number of others, but these are the ones I picked tonight. Number one, Oddity by Sweens and Indie Comics Dave. I've been a fan of Sween's art from the moment I saw it. And I'm really proud because I'm on the trailer. I'm on the Oddity trailer.
Yeah, you made it.
I made it onto the trailer Home in the Tree, so I'm pretty pumped about that. So I'm excited about that book. Second one that has it started off, and there was a free preview of this issue too, but I haven't seen a whole lot by Scott. The guy doing the book is Door Kickers. Have you guys heard about Door Kickers?
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. I want to get that preview.
Yeah, it's a great preview. It made me immediately want to buy the book. That's the way a preview should do. It gives you the information you need to start the story, and it makes you excited about what you're going to get in the book. So, Door Kickers by Scott McCullough looks killer.
It's high quality.
And then, what's that?
It's high quality.
It is high quality. It absolutely is. And then the last one I wanted to say that I saw that made me really excited was there's a guy on Twitter, CB Smallwood. He did a really great hero fan art that was it was almost like it looked like Pitt. It was like all veiny and it really it was like almost a Jim Lee Cowan mashup of a hero. It was really cool looking. Anyway, he has a book coming out called Wildcat. And let's see, it's labeled as, hold on, I have it right here. If you're a fan of monsters, H.P. Lovecraft, and the Incredible Hulk, 90s comics, heavy metal, music, action, humor, horror, sci-fi, drama, mystery, etc., then this might be the book for you. And I was like, I love all those things. I want the book right now. So it looks cool. It looks great. And the best part is, on his campaign page, it says the creative team: writer C.B. Smallwood, artist C.B. Smallwood, letterer C.B. Smallwood. It just made me laugh. So anyway, those three I'm excited about. And the last thing I want to, obviously I'm excited about Wisdom Comes, which is going to be out soon. And the last thing is, are you familiar with SJW Skeletor, Cody?
I've seen the name flying around. I know that he's got some good videos out. I really want to see one.
Well, here, I'm going to make it easier for you because I'm just going to drop it in the chat. Okay. And so our buddy Michael Beacon, who is he's a great guy, and he does this SJW Skeletor. If anybody else hasn't seen it, you should absolutely watch it. It's freaking hilarious. So that's the latest episode that he dropped today. You guys should watch that.
Will do.
All right. So last thing I'm going to say before we let you say your final piece, Cody, is every episode I wanted to, because this is our new format, give a creator shout out. And tonight I'm going to give a creator shout out to Philip Diaz, the Diaz brothers with Magic Cop, and he's at GGA Philpops, GGAFILLPOPS on Twitter. Everybody should go follow him. And ZadeComics.com, he has a preview of Magic Cop there, and it's really cool. I think it's going to be an exciting book. So everybody check that out.
Good shout out.
All right. Well, Cody, it's been a pleasure talking to you, man.
Likewise.
I've been looking forward to speaking to you for a while. We're going to have you on again, absolutely, after your launch. We're going to get more people excited about this book. Mutt, you have anything else to say? Any words of wisdom?
Yeah, man. I wanted to talk about our campaign before we let everybody go. Are you going to do that, or do I want to jump in?
You should do that right now.
Okay. Our campaign currently, let me see if I can share my screen. This is going to be good.
Yeah, congrats on getting the colors, by the way, guys.
Yeah, we're pumped, man.
Such a big deal.
Pumped.
Yeah.
Such a big deal.
Gonna make
going to Vegas.
That's right. It's gonna make things easier on Mutt, most importantly, and we're going to get some beautiful colors. So it's going to be good. Oh, yeah.
All right, let me know if you can see this now.
No.
I can see you.
Can you see my screen?
There we go. You
Okay.
should lock it on yourself.
All right, I'll do that too. Thank you, Macho, for walking me through that.
Yep, I got to watch out for you, man.
All right, now here you will see our campaign pages up. This is Hero Blood of Patriots. For anybody who may watch this who does not know, because we talk about it constantly all the time, this is our campaign, and you can check it out and you can back us. This is going to be a high-intensity action comic about a cool character named Hero in World War III. You can read they were alluding to the first few pages. You can get the first 16 pages here. This is not what's in the comic book itself that we're making. This is just your own free comic that helps lead you into the story, which is Hero Blood of Patriots. We have crossed the funding goal for our colorist. So as you can see down here, we're going to get some magnificent colors added to pages like this and pages like these. Let me get down here to where our funding goals are. Sorry about that. Up here. There we go. We have unlocked the 5500. The next thing is going to be an upgraded printing cover quality and page quality. That's at 6,000. And then right next door to that is this little guy here, which is the 6500. Macho grows his dastardly Dan curled mustache.
Are you gonna put in that perk?
That it's there. Like if we get to 6,500, I have to do it.
No, he's got to do it. The Macho knockout perk or something, the one that I drew that little comic for.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have to grow that, and then I get to come to somebody's door and kick him in the nuts.
Yeah,
yeah. Have Macho come to your house and knock you out.
Dude, that made me laugh so hard when you drew that day. Like I had a class that night. I was teaching, and it made me laugh so hard. And the people, I was parked there, and people had to think I was crazy.
Oh, dude, I was at work when I forgot where I was. I was at work, and I saw you guys talking about that, and I was like, dude, that sounds so funny. And I literally just turned over a piece of work paper and just drew that out really quick.
It's so funny.
Well,
anyway, sorry, Mutt.
Yeah, no, that's good. We're gonna hit the $6,500 before we get out of funding, and Macho's gonna have to grow it. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, his wife's not happy about this. So let's make sure that we make his life miserable. He's got to grow it completely out. Once it's completely out, and we have photographic evidence, then he can trim it off. I think.
Okay.
At 7,000, we're going to add content. So that can be in the form of extra books. That can be in the form of extra printing. It can be in the form of different pinups that are added to the book. It can be all kinds of fun stuff. So please share this out to your friends. We are targeting all kinds of audience members. People that are into patriotic stories are going to love this story. It's a very patriotic story. People that are into 80s action movies will love this story. People that are into monsters will love this story. People that are into horror will love this story. We carry a lot of different audiences that will get into this. So you can still back us. You can still share it out. So please do that, and we appreciate it very much. And back to you, Macho, to close this out.
All right. Well, any last words, Cody, before we close this thing out?
Not much. Thank you so much, guys, for having me on. Seriously, this is awesome.
Absolute pleasure to have you.
We're on a great show. I love this format. I think it's great.
Cool.
And, well, thank you.
Thanks for coming on, everybody. Once again, Wisdom Comes. It's going to come out. It will be launching soon on Indiegogo. There's a lot of links that were thrown out in the chat. So we'll probably get Mutt, the Boomer, to go ahead and put links into the description. But you'll be seeing it. If you guys follow any of us on Twitter, we're going to be sharing it out because it's going to be a cool project. Thanks very much, Cody. We appreciate you coming on.
I have a couple
Here it comes
things.
Again.
I have a couple things. Sorry, guys. But R2 did ask Sean asked a couple of good questions. He was... Do you wash the brochure before you hand it off? Yes, we wash them and put some starch in it. Macho likes his shirts with a little starch.
Yeah.
So I have to starch it up before I hand it back. No shirt like the brochure. We got that.
Yeah.
He asked if if the person under the in my drawing, if the person under the sheet, the dead person was wearing pants. Yes, he is wearing pants.
It's canon now. It's canon.
It's a fully clothed person under the sheet. He also asked, "What is the $1 million stretch goal?" And the $1 million stretch goal would probably be that we would literally fly Macho to somebody's house to knock them out.
Yes, yeah.
We're gonna
That's
make that
enough
little
money.
cartoon come true.
That's
Life
enough money.
imitates art.
That's right. That's enough money that if I get in trouble for assaulting someone, I can get out of jail.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, well, guys, this has been. Are you good, Macho? Can I close it out?
I'm good. Hashtag Skogor rises. Sorry,
right.
Close it out, Mutt. Hit it.
This episode of the Mutt-Man and Macho Dan Hero Power Hour has been supremely fun. Really appreciate everybody that's watched, and please share this video out. Please like. Please subscribe. We're going to do this format, and we're going to push out a lot more content, and you're going to be able to see us building Hero and creating really cool content. You can be a part of it. You can see it as it's happening. So, that's what it's all about for us. So appreciate everybody, and thank you, and good night.
Good night.